a character in Call of Duty. There's, you've
I
done
can
the
see
show.
you preparing for this question.
I'm trying to lead up to it.
He's like,
I don't even know how to. My face is gonna be like red.
so when I went to the mansion.
Yeah. Jeez. I don't freaking. Here we go. Okay. Because that would probably make you uncomfortable if I said that that's what I thought, right? I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
Do I look uncomfortable?
Never. So this is a really cool, unusual, like you're a character in one of the biggest gun shooting games I could think of, Call of Duty. How did that come about and how awesome does that feel? Like you're a superhero basically.
So obviously you meet a lot of cool people in the industry, and I knew somebody who was already a character in Call of Duty, and I met her through the industry because she kind of dabbles in the shooting stuff. But
you got to say which character she was?
I think her name is Mara, but her name's Alexandra. But anyway, so she introduced me to the person who owns a company called Tac Gas, and that company is a media company for, like they put together really very high-end commercials, and obviously one of their clients is Activision.
Ah.
So they do the characters for them, and so Alex was like, hey, I just want to introduce you to so-and-so. And he was like, hey, this is the person. And actually the first time he sent me over like pictures, they were like, she's not mean looking enough. And I was like, what?
Girl, I could be.
I was like, what? I was like, what pictures did you send them? Like some modelly, like,
yeah.
So anyway, he flew out here. We did a side shoot that was like super tactical. Like I've actually never done something so like military badass, like blood everywhere, and he's like, we got to make you look mean. And so I was like, okay, great. So he ended up sending those photos over, and they were like, yeah, we love her, except we need her to be a Norwegian blonde girl. And I was like, what?
What in the world?
So he was like,
Wraith is a Norwegian blonde?
She's a blonde. She has a mohawk. Her sides of her hair is shaved, and she has a full like mohawk of a braided mohawk. And so he's like, can we bleach your hair blonde and cut all your hair off? And I was like, absolutely not. I work for other companies who would probably be pretty offended by that.
Totally.
And I was like, no way. So
you have such like a Tomb Raider vibe to you that I'm like that they missed a opportunity that anybody could dye their hair. I shouldn't talk bad, but I'm just saying like
it's okay. It was my chance to be involved, and I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So they had a makeup artist who basically I put a video out on social media of like the process of like making all my hair, like turning me bald and then putting a mohawk wig on and then flocking hair on the side. And I was one of the luckiest characters on there because I got asked to do a commercial in Call of Duty, which like had all the celebrity people on there. And I had like a one-liner. And so they were like, okay, come on out. How long does it take to get ready? So it was like we took 6 hours to get ready that day. And then to do this shoot that literally took us maybe like a total of 30 minutes. But it was super cool. So that was probably the biggest like set I had been on.
This isn't on here, but having gone, so here, I'm going to ask a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So having a taste of shoots and costume, makeup, and all that stuff, do you ever see yourself getting into like acting or movies or?
I think back in the day, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I really want to do this. And now you look at it and you're like, man, that world is wild. Would I enjoy doing those things? Yes. I had opportunities to be on like Outdoor Channel, and Arlie Ermy, he was called the Gunny. You probably see him in Full Metal Jacket and a million other shows. So he had a show back in the day, and it was called Gunny Time. So I did a lot of co-hosting on there with him, and we were just talking about different random firearms and shooting them and like what they did in the past. They were like historical guns. So I did a lot of that as well.
Do you like it?
Oh yeah, no, I love it. I haven't done any of that stuff in a long time, but yeah, if anything came and popped up again, it's just such a like, small niche, I feel like, of finding people in the gun industry, and I don't know. Yeah, but I enjoy it. I like doing it. So if there were an opportunity that arose, then heck yeah, I would love to do that.
So when all this kind of gets a little bit more sustaining with the UFL, the F3, where it's really turned over to a board and I can focus on other things, the biggest desire is to produce movies. And me and Rampage are obviously like action heavy. And so if you're ever wanting to be in some action, we have some really big scripts that are coming up.
That's awesome.
Just wondered because you're perfect for that. And so it's funny that you have.
There's some people in our industry. His name, he's a buddy of mine, but his name is Taryn, and he has a company called Taryn Tactical. And so his big thing is I've always loved to be, he loves movies. And so he trains all the celebrities because he's out in California. He's in Simi Valley. So I know a lot of the celebrities, like big time celebrities go out there, like Keanu Reeves, like for the making of John Wick. And all those videos came out of his range. And so he trains all those. And like a lot of the girls that he hangs out with or helps shoot or do those things, like they kind of get involved. Either they're like the stunt people or teaching people how to shoot. I mean, but I would enjoy actually doing those things.
I mean, that's what I was going to say is being able to do your own stunts. I don't know if that's like since Jackie Chan, I don't know if that's allowed anymore, but you know, that speaking of John Wick, that new ballerina,
I haven't seen it.
I don't know if it's come out yet, but it's coming out. And that's totally you.
Yeah,
I feel like
everybody says that you should totally be in these, and it's like, yeah.
Oh, well, if you like seriously, that's my dream is to just be able to produce movies and be in movies and act out some of your, you know, things that you can't do in real life because I'm not that cool at shooting. So if that's ever a desire, know that it's in the pipeline.
Oh, very cool. Well, just remember me, you know, whenever you make it massive.
You remember, like you're obviously, I've already done it with. And it's Wraith, right?
Yeah. So
Wraith Call of Duty is not naturally a blonde mohawk.
No.
It is a
Italian short little girl.
Is it Italian? The background?
Yeah. I'm Italian, yeah.
I love it. Well, I guess that's, your last name.
Viscusi.
Yeah, that's very Italian. Sounding, at least. So outside of shooting, are there any hobbies? You said gymnastics, but what other hobbies do you like?
Yeah, I love gymnastics. We still dabble. It's always nice, like when you've done a sport from your kid life and then you continue to do it. And so you never really lose it if you kind of dabble. Love doing that. And then I actually have a horse, so I love going horseback riding.
Do you stable it yourself and you?
Yeah, it's not at my house. He's like 4 minutes down the street from me and somebody else has him. And then I go and, you know, that sucks. But you know how insane pricing is here in Arizona and finding any land within the area.
And to be able to feed and groom and so I would never have a house or a horse at my house. I think that's perfect. Walk 4 minutes down the road. Please take care of it. Make sure it's alive when I come back. Yeah.
But that's really it. I'm trying to think what else. Like, I don't know. We work out. We've always been, I say we, my husband and I, we're physical people. So anything activity wise, like shooting. I don't know. We're both in the same stuff.
You guys hike? Like camping
we
sounds
hike.
Like it's not the best.
I just camped not too long ago. We have friends that like to go camping, but they're like, we like to rent RVs and then bring them. I'm like, okay, that sounds great to me. But yeah, anything that has activities involved, we're down.
I don't even know how to. My face is gonna be like red. Gosh dang it! Because it's okay to say Mac. Okay. Oh my gosh.
So when I went to the mansion.
Yeah. Jeez. I don't freaking. Here we go. Okay.
Oh shit.
So. Okay. Maxim's fine.
Yeah. It's not bad.
I can say that, and I don't need to say.
I didn't take my clothes off.
Okay. So funny. I mean, a character in Call of Duty. There's, you've done the show. I can see you
preparing for this question.
I'm trying to lead up to it.
He's like, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh man, I grew up very, very sheltered, like such a prude. Okay.
I'm such a prude.
It's embarrassing, but I mean, you've been around like Call of Duty. You've been doing reality shows. Have you modeled?
Yeah, so
like that acting right there.
Have you ever modeled?
Okay, let me do it better. Do you care if I let you say Maxim?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's Maxim.
Just don't say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're a character in games. You've been on TV shows. Have you done any modeling?
Yeah. So when I first started, actually to take it way back again, after History Channel, they actually set it up and they said, hey, Maxim would be interested in talking about your story. So I went out to New York City and they sent me out, and then we did an entire shoot with like all guns. So that was really cool because I think that's a kind of different direction for Maxim at the time. And again, this was back in like 2010 or 2011. And also probably pretty scary for people because we were on top of like buildings with they were fake firearms, but in New York City, like if somebody saw that, they would be like, oh my God. But it was super fun experience. And right around the time I was getting involved in some other modeling, and I won this competition between me and another girl, and it was for this company called Red Star Arms, and they're actually an AK manufacturer. And so that's kind of what started me off into this area of like modeling and getting involved in the gun world. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then now it just kind of trickled down to, well, I create content. So technically, like, everybody's a model nowadays.
I know. I hate that. I mean, exactly. Everybody's a model on Instagram and they make money. I talk to F3 Larry all the time about that. It's like, but you've actually modeled in magazines, and I have to let the audience know.
It was an online subscription, but I have done quite a few other magazines that are more in like the gun world.
Hey, you've been in magazines. That is badass.
That's all that matters.
And I'm not going to lie, I have to let the audience know, I didn't know what Maxim was at first. And I got so nervous to ask, but it is completely not what I thought it was. We'll cut that out. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want people to wonder why I was red, but you can cut that out.
And he's like...
Because that would probably make you uncomfortable if I said that that's what I thought, right? I don't want to make you uncomfortable at all.
Do I look uncomfortable?
Never. You never do.
I am a man over here. I'm manly. I'm manlier than you,
I was going to say,
remember?
one day I will man up.
She's a manly girl.
As we started out, all right. Michelle, you are a freaking amazing guest. Man, I know. I'm going to end it the way I started it. You are a very manly woman. No.
Thank you.
And I aspire to be as badass as you are one day. And so thank you so much for coming on the podcast, spending time with us. I cannot wait to go shooting and be way more knowledgeable about your world very soon. And please, let's come back. You're local. You're so exciting. I know the audience loves you. So please forgive me for my magazine questions.
It's okay. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I look forward to doing more things with you guys. And thank you for asking me all about my boring life.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you all. Love you.